and welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a lump in your throat from Craft Brew on the side. I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate and Aaron, and
Hello.
we're about to... I guess it's going to be sad at the end of this, so we're going to get to the end. We're just going to say that.
We're getting sad.
We just
at
know it's
chapter
coming.
52.
Yeah, we're getting sad at chapter
It's hard
52.
to vamp this one, really.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And there's a lot of notes that I took, so we have to just kind of go right into it.
Yeah.
Just run right to the sadness.
This is a
So
heavy episode.
finally, my depression comes in handy today. I'm already down low. I'm fine. I can just keep going.
Aaron's like, this will be easy.
I can't go any lower. We're good.
Yeah, just stay at rock bottom.
Silver linings, baby.
How about we reassess at the end of the episode? Just check in with you and the Seekers and see how everybody's doing.
I'll shove it down low.
Hey, that's what the beer's for, guys. Okay, so open it if you got them, or I mean,
Cheers.
If you smoke them if you got them, or whatever. Just prepare yourself in whatever way you need to.
All right.
So, the start of this chapter, Kahlan sees Dref. She notes that he is still wearing his sword, even though that was kind of just part of that ruse that was going on with Tristan. But it's probably not a bad idea because people are starting to actually be pissed at the healers because they are denouncing all of the shitty cures out there and being like, you don't spend your money on that. That's dumb. Don't take horse dewormer. That's dumb. And they're attacking the healers for stuff like that.
For saying those very true things.
Yeah.
Well, and also he's a Rawl. The Rawl men are known to have their swords. Nathan
like them.
just loves having a
true.
sword.
Yeah.
Richard, that's more of a tool, but he you think of Richard, you think of the sword.
Well, he has to have the sword because he never remembers his goddamn knife.
That's right.
So he needs something shiny and sharp.
Should have done that yesterday for my mom's birthday when they asked if I had a knife. It should have been like, no, but I brought my sword, so it's fine.
So she does ask him what the status of the staff is because there is sickness in the palace at this point, and it is not great. One dead, more sick overnight. In light of the plague being in the palace, Kahlan's like, can we stop with the fucking smoke then? Because it's not helping. Obviously, people are sick anyways, and it's annoying, and I'm tired of it.
They're constantly doing it. It's something that they have to continue to do, and it's getting tiring.
Yeah, I mean, just think about when you have smoke in your face at a bonfire or something. It's not great. You want to get away from it, and if you can't get away from it because it's in your house,
Right.
it's going to suck.
Well, and she asks him what the smoke is actually doing, and that's when he tells her, like, oh, it's not doing anything at all.
Yeah, it's not actually helping, but we don't want to... People think that it might be helping,
Right.
and so we don't want to take that away from them because if we do, then they have nothing else that might be helping, so we got to give them something.
This is where they differ from the hucksters and the grifters on Stentor Street, right? These people are selling cures. This thing will make the plague go away. The thing they're doing with the smoking is much better, and there is no victims because this is not a proven this like will get rid of the plague. This is just like it can't hurt,
Preventative
right?
measures.
So just try it. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it won't. But there's no victim in that because they're just doing something for free they can do.
I mean, it might not be great for your lungs. And you might have
Well,
long-term
yeah,
repercussions of that, but...
Well, and also, I got to imagine it's helping with the smell.
Yes, the
Like,
smell
if
of
not,
the dead. Yeah.
Throw something in that fire that will help with the smell.
I did think that that's what he was going to say.
That's what I thought,
he was
too.
gonna
At the
say,
very least,
yeah, that we're trying to keep that just... It's better.
Just say it. Hey, I guess to his point, just say that's what it's for at least.
Yeah.
Like even Kahlan, lie to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's for the smell.
It's mainly for the smell, but hey, if it, carries I forget the term, the bad air that people were kind of blaming it on for a while during the Black Plague here in the real world. But they thought that smell is what got you sick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So even with that train of thought, yes, that'll work perfectly.
Yeah.
Even though people are still getting sick. But that's beside the point.
Right.
So he goes to leave, and she thanks him for helping people with his words, and he says being a healer rarely means healing. It's actually living with the pain and the suffering, and words are the best aid for healers in that. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't do shit for anybody, comfort is the best thing you can do for a lot of people.
Yeah, you can just be a calming presence.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's what somebody would really like when they're at the end.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and treat the symptoms. I mean, if you know you can't treat the cause, at least you can treat the symptoms.
Like hospice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make them comfortable.
Palliative care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, sometimes people just want to bitch for a minute. Like, I'm in pain and I'm going to die soon. And they just want to get that out.
I want to say
because they haven't
that
had anyone listen to them for a minute. So.
whenever I'm at hospice, I want to be like, this is the worst hotel I have ever been at.
They do it in your house a lot of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not always, but you can have a hospice.
I think that would be
at your house.
nice. Yeah. Let's do that.
All right, I'll write it down.
Okay.
Hey, I'll make a note.
Anybody else want to update their will on the episode? Just wondering. Okay, we can move on.
Kahlan asks him how Richard is, and as always, he's tired. Dreff then explains that even though he had to have Tristan executed, it weighs heavily on Richard. And she gets it because she has literally been there. And she told Richard such, and all of his friends agree that he had to do what he had to do, which is kind of the opposite of the attitude that they all had towards him at the end of the chapter, but okay.
Yeah. There must have been another cutaway where Richard sat there and explained his intentions to everybody. But, I mean, it felt fast to all three of us, I can say, right?
It was also interesting that he says it weighs heavily on him, and I'm like, I don't think it
Didn't
did.
seem like it.
And,
seemed like that was a snap decision there, Rich.
And it was interesting because it seemed like Dreff was implying that he killed him himself, and then Kahlan said something about ordering the killing. So it's made more clear that Richard didn't actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just murder the dude. He gave an order which made it official.
Which, as I
and
learned
then he didn't have to actually have to do it.
Which, as I learned from Game of Thrones, is kind of a bitch move if you're a leader.
You know what I just realized? Richard should have done the sword trick on Tristan in regard to the rest of the murders, because Richard knows deep down, right, that he doesn't really have him on the rest of those murders. So that could have been a way for Richard to be like, okay, I know you're guilty of one thing for sure, but even if there's the smallest little kernel of the idea that maybe you didn't do the rest of that. Now, okay, no, but he did try and kill Kahlan, so that sword's cutting right through that motherfucker.
Say, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
like guilty
the more I
as fuck.
said it, I was like, this is wrong.
The
This would
anger.
not work.
I think it could have worked, but not for Richard.
Kahlan's murder,
For
maybe.
a seeker, I think a seeker in theory could do it. But I don't think Richard would be able to separate the prostitute murders from Kahlan attempted murder, and that would always be there, and therefore he would for sure kill him.
It does not matter if I think he's guilty of the prostitute murders, because he is guilty
butter.
of this.
Yes.
I am murdering him.
Yeah, the idea behind it, I think, is true. I think that could have been a trick to test to see if he thought they were innocent or not.
It just popped. I was like, maybe that could be a way, but it could. But like you said, Richard's view of the whole situation just kind of skews the way that the sword is going to work. So, he's a fucking dead man.
Well, and let's be honest, it should have just been Kahlan confessing him, like we said last chapter.
100%. 100%.
Should have just done that.
Well, that would be way too convenient, because then we'd know the answer.
Way too convenient.
Kahlan, Dreff gushes over Kahlan, wishing that one day he can have a girl as bomb-ass as she is.
Hell yeah.
This was creepy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a girl as smart and as beautiful as you.
Eh?
Okay. Bad talk. Don't like it.
But you know what? Kahlan doesn't react that way. She
No.
reacts by thinking about how tight his pants are and blushing about it. What? I thought we were upset about his hands, but also she was like, that dick. That's
Or
all
the
she can
thing
think
that
about
he-
at this moment.
Well, something's changed since we last had Kahlan's inner thoughts running through her head.
Oh, now she might have to marry him, so she's like, oh, look at that dick.
Oh, yeah.
If I can't have Richard, I guess I could have his brother who kind of looks
creepy
like
fingers.
him.
It's like the guy we were talking about in the last episode who was frozen in lava trying to jerk it one last time. He's just like, well, if this is what I'm going to be paired with, at least it's that and not something else.
Kahlan is the man jerking off in this instance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Just going at it, man.
That brings up you know what?
It just ran through my head.
We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Because there's always been a thing that I've thought about with confessors, because it's like,
You're trying to ask that if when they masturbate, if they do the confessor thing.
well, they'd have to, right?
I
They'd
believe
have
they
to,
would, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Doesn't matter
they
if
lose
there's no one
control
else there.
of their power,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, right. So
We're same page.
theoretically,
We have both.
It takes-
the beautiful thing is we've both thought about this independently, and now we're both being like, yeah, it totally happens when they come, right?
theoretically, then it takes Kahlan at least a couple hours for her power to come back, right? So theoretically, she pops one off on herself. Her and Richard could do it all night, at least a couple hours. I've thought about this before. This is I'm pretty sure that it maths out correctly.
It 100% makes sense.
Yeah, I'm fully on board. This is how they can get it done.
She just has
We
to
have-
absorb the blow herself once.
We have definitive proof that this would work.
So yeah.
You know what?
I've
That's
thought
why
about
we
this
do
a lot.
this show.
Yeah, and I just have never been able to talk about it with anybody because there hasn't been opportunity.
Wizards
This
rules
is
be
why.
damned. Can Kahlan come?
We're done. I think we're done.
This is the final episode. We got to the
This is
mystery,
how the magic
guys.
works.
This is it. We solved it.
That's amazing.
She just needs a vibrator. She's a Jill, an angry dildo. We're good.
She's good. She's fine.
Oh
she
my
can do it with
God.
anybody.
Guys, Kahlan's gonna be okay. She'll be okay.
So she goes to see Nadine in the sick room, which is overflowing with patients. There's a lot of them. The two of them put cool cloths on foreheads, soothe people as best they can. Nadine suggests Kahlan could be a healer with her kind touch because she's being super great to everybody. And Kahlan is like, nah, I couldn't. My life is devoted to duty. I'm a warrior and a fighter. You are just here to clean up after me and deal with you help fix the people that I break at the end of the day is basically what she's trying to say.
I mean, she has rode into battle naked before.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
And Nadine is like, sometimes I wish that I could fight to end the suffering too. And we're all like, yeah, but you're a little bitch, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, you ever ride a war horse naked into battle on a winter's morning? No, you haven't. You should probably keep healing people, Nadine.
Yeah. You were down. We saw what happened to the tunnels. You weren't very helpful.
I forgot about tunnels.
Yes. Yeah, get him, guys. You got it.
I'm going to keep hiding under the water.
Is he gone?
It's kind of cold.
Hello? Sorry.
This is scary. They had to take a break from the room, okay? It smells real bad. It's just generally not a good vibe, you know? It's
Yeah, it was a real bummer that
Yeah.
all those dead bodies and the family members who don't have that person in their lives
All those
anymore.
people crying.
It smelled a little bit.
Yeah. It was just really crushing
It was really killing
vibes
my
for them.
zen. Okay.
Now, is this room, it's a sick room, obviously. Are these people destined to die at this point? Or do they just have the plague in general? Also, they're in very close quarters with a lot of sick people right now. Just wanted to point that out. Probably
yeah.
a little, like, I'm not saying they don't deserve care, but, man.
Well, maybe Kahlan doesn't need to be in there.
yeah, I guess, yeah. Kahlan, for sure.
Like, hey, we think quarantine works, as we'll discuss later in the chapter. But yeah, no, Kahlan and
They
Richard can
decided
just go
in for a
visit
penny,
families.
in for a pound.
and-
They've already been exposed,
Yeah.
so they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And Dreffin was like, hey, if you're around him all the time and you're like a super awesome, healthy person,
Yeah,
then you
that's
get immunity.
true.
So
you just gotta
like,
think. You just gotta think that you're healthy.
Yeah,
real
basically.
Just think real hard. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about thinking that it doesn't affect you.
And
Yeah.
most people with the plague are going to die. There's probably just a very few that aren't going to. And
Yeah.
there's 20 beds in this room. This is like the palace's regular infirmary. And there's more people on the bed. There's 20 people on the beds, people on the floors, and people in other rooms.
Yeah.
I would assume at this point you can kind of tell the people who are like, you might write this out and you might not. So you're probably like, I don't know. Maybe it's all just random because some people are in pain till the end and some people are
Yeah.
in pain and then come back.
The more I think about this specifically, it's probably just a matter of, look, we got a lot of fucking sick people.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who you are. Do something to help if you're here.
Yeah.
And that, in light of that, yeah.
Yeah.
She's just trying to help. That's not a bad thing.
Okay, so they sit on the ground, and Nadine says back at home she felt like she could at least help most of the time, but this is different. She feels helpless just watching everyone die and wondering if she's going to be the person on the bed next. Like, it's just generally it's not fun.
She's used to being preventative.
Yeah.
The bad, terrible thing didn't happen for her before she stopped it. Now it's already happened, and she's on the other end of it.
Yeah.
And that's a much different experience.
Well, and even then, I'm sure even the stuff that isn't preventative is curable. It's like,
oh yeah,
Joe broke his ankle walking out the path. Okay, cool. I can set it. We can wrap it up, and it'll heal. You'll just have to be on a crutch. Boom. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Like, now it's, there's just nothing.
Yeah, you come in screaming because you're going to have a baby.
Yeah.
Leave with the baby and not screaming anymore. You come in screaming because you have the plague and you're in pain. I can't even tell you, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, there's a status quo. There's there's a procedure, I guess is what I'm trying to say for that. There is no real procedure for the plague.
No. I'll try and keep you as comfortable as I can. You're probably going to pass, though. I'm not going to say that part out loud, but we all fucking know it.
Yeah, we got to make sure we keep the bedside manner.
Yeah.
Still, but also going to die.
Yeah, you're going to die. So Kahlan thinks that delivering a baby must have been way more satisfying, and Nadine then goes into detail about how it's not actually that fun most of the time, and how women go into denial a lot of times, and then it's like terrifying when it does actually fucking happen.
Which is true, because you did that. I've
Yeah.
got video of the day before my son Jackson was born of Jade just being the happiest soon-to-be mother on the planet. I love this video. I cherish it, and I will keep it forever. I mean that. I might even post it online after this, just to make sure it stays forever, because it's wonderful. You were so excited. But then the morning of came, and we had to go to the hospital, and Jade begged me to just not take her to the hospital, because we can just wait. And I was like, no, we got to do this. It's time.
We should just go home.
And she didn't really fight. It just took a little prodding. She's like, yeah, let's go have the baby. But there was a moment where she was like, we don't have to do it now, though, right?
No, we pulled into the hospital, and I was like, oh shit, okay. The realization all of a sudden happens, like, oh, I came in here, and there's two of us, and all of a sudden we're going to go in there. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Bad shit could happen. And then all of a sudden there'll be another person here, and hopefully three of us leaving the hospital. That's not...
Then the stork will open up the window from the outside, carry the baby in.
Yeah.
And everything will be fine. According to Jade, that's exactly what happened.
He won't drop it.
Unless it falls through the cloud. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
if it's a fat baby. Jackson was really skinny, though, so it was fine. Okay, so after that super fun conversation and then some silence, Kahlan decides to make it even more Aki. She just flat out says she knows Nadine still thinks she's going to marry Richard.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to fight, okay? I'm not trying to bring this up to, like, fight with you.
What are you trying to do, Kahlan?
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's that.
Yeah. Like, what do you expect me to answer you? No. Then you're going to tell me I'm lying. Or if I say yes, then we're fighting, right?
Yeah.
That's your fiance. If I tell you, I'm planning I'm going to marry your fiance, we're fighting.
Oh, it's going to happen.
And if we're not fighting, something's fucking wrong with you and you're playing a game and I don't like it.
Then you have a plan, which I really don't like.
And she's like, okay, I'm just worried about falling to the plague, and I just want to make sure that if I do and I die and that you're the one, Nadine, that ends up with him. I just want to make sure that you're not...
What in the actual fuck? What in the actual fuck?
Oh, you don't think that's a natural thing to be talking about with the...
No, it's not.
With the ex of, this whole situation?
Being okay with her, like, immediate
Chilling.
death and then being like, okay, maybe she's whatever, but not a fan, and going to, I want you to be the one to marry. Like, look, she's got the info from Shota. She knows that the spirits and Shota and everybody are like, Nadine is the least worst choice for Richard. I don't give a fuck. No, anybody but her.
Yeah, I'm not
Go
gonna start
through your magical means and find number 2 and pick her.
I'm not going to settle in and be like, okay, let's get comfortable with this. Let's make this the best possible scenario for everyone.
Like, let's make a plan? No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Like when-
whatever. This
Like
is
when
weird and doesn't make sense
Like
to
when
me.
somebody asks you if you're cheating ex and like if you're happy and you wish your cheating ex and their new spouse like happiness and good and you're like, no!
Yeah.
I hope they both die in a fire. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? But no, Caitlin's like, I just hope that you don't hurt him again.
Yeah.
She's just settling into it now.
Because she reminds her also, because you did before.
You already
you
did. Yeah.
You did
Plus,
before.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, even if we thought it was okay to think this, don't fucking say it. If you,
Yeah.
Kahlan, have come to a conclusion in your heart of hearts
You've
that you
grown
go,
as a
that you
person.
go, you know what? I see the silver lining. Keep it to yourself. Don't go talk to that person. Keep it to yourself.
Nadine should be like, this is weird. This is a weird thing that you're doing right now. This is weird. You hated me like just a minute ago. This is weird. Yeah. But
Very
also,
fucking weird.
Also, first of all, does still, even after everyone's explained it to her, does not understand what she did wrong, apparently. Because
Right.
she's like, I explained to you why I did that. I was trying to get him then. So if I already had him, I wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
No, you should know that was a bad move. You're
Yes.
still defending your move at this point. And second of all, when you're like, I would never do that again, you're defending your actions before, which means that you would be like, if a scenario approached you at like, you don't know what you're going to do because you have bad judgment, you whore.
Well, you already did it the one time.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
precedent that you will do it
That's
again.
all. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say about that. But she lays it on super thick about how happy she's going to make Richard and she's going to take the best fucking care of him and love him better than, she's going to do her best.
Yeah, she's going to be like, I'm going to love him way more than, I'm going to do a really good job.
Yeah.
Rest assured.
And Kahlan thanks her for this and says she was just worried about who would take care of Richard if she died. They joke about how he takes care of himself and he cooks better than both of them. And basically, where Richard is concerned, a woman can only hope to go along for the ride. That's so charming.
Yeah.
Richard, he's just such a headstrong man. He doesn't need a partner. He's not going to get a partner in
They're
life.
just helpless women who can't cook.
He's just going to have someone who's along for the ride.
No, the problem with this conversation is that they are basically setting something up for Richard. This has happened in book 1, in book 2, and in book 3. They are making a choice for him that he has not made for himself. So it doesn't matter if these two are okay with it. It matters exactly 0 because Richard doesn't know shit about it. His mind has not been changed. He's going to fucking marry Kahlan, and that's all there is to it.
And this bitch did still fuck his brother. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
We haven't even gotten to that yet.
I don't care. No matter what. I'm
Or
not
if
gonna
we
be...
did, we weren't there for the conversation that they had.
No, I ain't fucking you.
I think if we were to get into all that, though, we would have to do it over a beer.
We would definitely. I'm feeling like having a beer right now.
I'd have a beer.
I could have a beer. I'm surprised
You
we're not
know
having a
what?
beer right
In
now.
fact,
I am.
think it's past time for the beer break.
Okay. So, during this episode, we are having a little sip on some Soft Parade. It's a fruit ale from Shorts Brewing Company. I'm positive that we've drank it on here before.
Yes, we have.
It is 7.5%, which I don't know
That
if it
has
always
changed,
was.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
is
it always
stronger.
was.
I think the one we had before was like 4 or 4.5%. It was very light. This is definitely a stronger version of it.
Yeah, and it tastes a little bit different. Not maybe, I don't know if I like it as much as I used to.
You can taste the Imperial.
Yes. It's actually not Imperial, though.
No, it's not. It's not.
But there's a little short story on here. I'll read it really fast, and then we will run along to a break. So this story begins with Joe Short cruising over to the Mighty Mac and jamming to the Doors. A vision came to him. A bevy of berries harmoniously marching into a brew tank, indulging his led to endless stories from y'all. Love stories, baby stories, tattoo stories, all thanks to Joe's fruited fantasy. Go ahead, have another. Make your own Short Parade story.
I didn't get that from the Doors at all, but okay. Sounds like he was tripping balls and had a couple of visions and went, you know what? Fruit beer is a thing. I can get behind.
He was on Mackinac, so...
I've also tripped while listening to the Doors, and it's okay.
I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is out of 10 trippy balls. How many trippy balls would you give this beer, Jade?
7. Again.
Oh, just right out of the gate. Okay.
I'm going to go 6.
I was thinking I was between 6 and 7, so I'm gonna go 6.5 and really throw the algorithm.
Well, we will be right back after this.
And welcome back for the remainder of Chapter 52 of Temple of the Winds. This is me taking a bullet for the team because I refused to do accents before. I don't know if it's Irish or pirate or what.
Hold on.
But
Hold
this
on.
is happening.
No. You're not taking a bullet because you refuse to do accents. You do accents off air.
That's true.
And I
don't do them on air.
You have the power to hit record. So when Jade and
that'd be true.
When Jade and I start saying some fucky things, you sneakily hit record.
If we sing or whatever.
Yes, and we complain that we can never hit record on you.
Well, I've got the record button right there. All I got to do is hit it. It's very easy.
And you don't. And you don't do it. So at home, if you like this right now, Nate purposefully doesn't give this to you.
He robs you.
He robs you of this.
It's all my fault. I'm
Every
just a
time.
bad man. There's nothing I can do about it.
Bastard.
Except record the episode.
So yeah, again.
You know what, guys? I feel better about this. I feel like I can move on from here now. I've done it.
You looked more comfortable in the pirate voice.
I love doing the pirate voice. September 17, by the way, everybody, my father's birthday, and also, I believe, National Talk Like a Pirate Day. It's for kids' cancer, so you have to do it.
Yeah. You don't tell me.
Everybody I am ready at 5 a.m. at my shop, and everybody knows it's coming. Anyways, Chapter 52.
Okay, and we're back.
You may go
shit.
on ahead. Yes.
So, we are switching to another person here. We keep moving to people and whatever. Cut. Every move. Cut. Every scene. Cut. Richard sees Curson as him and Kahlan and Kara are all walking around, and there's just this chance meeting of everybody with Curson has a letter, and he's got Grissom in tow. And Grissom is the dude from Rywish. He's coming up with the letter from Rywish.
He's the Nathan connection. Also,
Grissom, I'm pretty sure, is the name of no, maybe it's Grisby. I kept thinking of Prince Eric's like steward, his help.
Cogsworth?
You know? No, that's a totally different movie. I his name is Grisby. He throws up in the beginning of the movie off the side of the boat.
The look of realization on your face.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's shock.
What show are you talking about?
Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. It's
the movie.
Been years. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
He
I'm sorry.
Wipes his nose off afterwards. Anyways, so Richard reads this letter, and then he passes it around to everybody so that they can read it as well while they start talking. Grissom tells them that they're doing fine in the South. The sisters did find them.
Nice.
I'm wondering, was there not a separate letter from one of the sisters to Richard telling him that Zed was alive?
Yeah, that would have been nice to include in there.
Because that would be really cool, because they know that Richard doesn't know, but whatever. Everyone's just down there awaiting orders from Richard at this point, which we knew. They all agree that it makes sense not to bring the men back up here right now. They are in a good position, and they might as well put them to good use.
Yeah.
It's best to have him guarding the gate, plus, the plague.
Yeah,
So,
the plague.
Well, they wanted him separate. That was part of the deal from the jump, right? They don't really want all of their troops mixing right now. Or if they're down there, they're definitely not going to bring them back.
Right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
That initially, this group was supposed to come straight back.
Right.
And they don't know about the plague. So now Richard at this point, yes, you're right. But that hasn't been an established thing throughout the entire army. Yes.
Yeah.
Kara also mentions that it will be beneficial to know if they head straight into Dahara because it's pretty rural down there in the southeast or whatever, I don't know, some direction down there. And unless they head straight to the palace, in which case that's a bad fucking idea because Trimac and the cavalry will just cut them to pieces. They'll just fucking die.
Yeah. There's a reason they do the things they do and placed everything where they placed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, nobody's ever successfully taken the People's Palace for a reason. This leads... Oh, wait. Okay, so this leads Grissom's next question about what's happening with all the dead people in town, because he does say that... he's supposed to give out... I think maybe I switched up some of my notes. But at least his next question about what's happening with all the dead people in the city. Because he's like, what the fuck? There's a lot of dead carts going around and people yelling about needing dead carts. And I'm just... Doesn't look great. And so Richard comes right out with it. He gives specific directions on how he wants Grissom to pass his response back to Rybish. And
how they got to do it separate, right?
They don't want to pass
so they
the plague.
don't actually pass the plague back and forth. This would probably be him letting Rybish know that, hey, stuff is not okay back home.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
This is when they would find that out.
Rice.
Rice?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lost. Jade is having her own little half episode somewhere.
I think she was saying right and nice.
Ah.
And she just put it...
Royce. That's Australian.
Okay. Then after he passes the message along, he's going to come back with the group of soldiers that are going to be sent with him to make sure that he gets there in one piece.
Right. Got to keep him safe.
Right. At least until he gets the message there. Then they don't give a fuck. Really.
Yeah, after that.
Like, they want the men to come back, obviously, but really, they just want the message to get there. They don't really care about Grissom. So he tells Grissom that they have kept soldiers in the city separate to keep the plague from them. He could tell Rybish that, and that they all agreed with his reasoning here. Carry on and keep informed. That's what he wants Rybish to take away from this.
Yeah.
On the note of soldiers being kept from the plague, Curson speaks up and has some news. All of the groups are affected, and they believe it's because the women of the streets thought it would be a safer thing to visit the soldiers with the murders happening in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get the reasoning.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard told them to close up shop, but then also didn't say, I have food that will be provided for you, and your lodgings won't be taken from you, and, you won't die. Or catch plague, because you're going to be out, trying to find food.
We talked about this before. I mean, I know a lot of people were really upset about the shutdown and everything like that, but at the same time, and I get why specifically Richard as a person does not like this train of thought, but I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, hey, there's an emergency situation that is bigger than just you or your store, so we're going to keep people separate. Now, in the meantime, we are going to take care of the needs you have because we're asking you to stop working. This is heavily reliant on the government, and I fully understand why people do not like that approach. I get it. The help is not going to come fast enough, which did happen, and it was a whole fucking mess. But that's the best way. Until there is a better way and people just stay away voluntarily, which they're not going to, it's the best thing. And it sucks. But as long as those people are taken care of and ultimately don't end up losing out, I don't see why there should be an issue with it.
I mean, also, and I didn't even mention this before, we're talking about these women like they're singular women that don't have, potentially have mouths to feed.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like prostitution is not illegal in this city.
No.
So for you to say, hey, just because you're a prostitute, now you can't work, which obviously, okay, health-related issues. But then, fine, I need, maybe I already have a place to go. You got to take care of my rent because I'm not able to work. That doesn't mean I shouldn't be allowed to live.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not going to allow me to make my own money, then that's got to come from somewhere, or no money. But give me rent forgiveness and some food, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll see ourselves through, and then, be done with it, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about the way that they are treated in this chapter, okay?
Yeah, it's fucky.
Yeah. We're going to get more into it, okay? Richard thinks that he should have let Tristan kill all of the whores.
Yikes.
He would have killed them all himself if he knew that this was going to happen. Like, he says that.
Yeah, that's a right bit fucked up.
He doesn't even think that.
Not great.
He says it.
Yeah, he says the quiet part way out loud.
Yeah.
Not great. Not a great look.
Yikes.
And then he says, those women just struck a blow for Jigang.
Yeah,
Yep. Single-handedly, all by themselves.
trying to survive.
Those women did that with no help from anybody else.
What about literally every other person in your fucking town?
What about the
Literally
soldiers
every single
or-
sick
who are
person
trying to get their dicks wet?
Yeah,
is
or
doing
the
the same thing.
soldiers.
You know what this
Yeah.
is? This is fucking victim blaming.
Yeah.
This is saying, how dare you get sick and then cause a problem for me because my enemy did this thing. No, this is all Jigang's fault. What the fuck?
Wait.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but it's not the women's fault.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make a living
They were
and
trying to survive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yes.
But he's looking at them because they spread the disease. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, but you know what? Jigang put the fucking disease there.
And who was willing to pay them? Your soldiers.
Yeah.
Your soldiers
Yeah.
happily let them into their tents and said, yes, I will put my dick in you. Yes, I will catch the plague. I'm aware that that's a possibility.
You didn't
I
tell
have
him
been
not to fuck anybody.
Even if he did, do you think that these soldiers wouldn't still be trying to fuck the whores? Do you think that they still won't be trying to fuck the whores? They're going to go into the city and fuck the whores.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's not the whore's fault.
No.
No, the women.
I think we're on the same page.
Are to blame.
It's not their fault.
And
Richard
it's
is
not
putting the fault
no.
squarely
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
and he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
He
Well,
shouldn't be.
it's not that though. It's the fact that there's zero mention that it's also equally the soldiers' fault.
Oh,
Zero.
yeah.
Zero
Yeah.
mention of that.
It's heavily implied that
'Cause
they are
I-
not to fault.
It's the
unless the
women's
whores,
fault.
unless
not
the
men's.
unless the whores came in, tied them down, raped them, took their money, and left, then it's the whore's fault.
Right.
I don't think that's how it went down.
No.
Unless one of them asked, then it could have went down that way. But that was consensual.
And I would be highly surprised if there wasn't a man from these camps who went to the whores in the first place and was like, "Hey, I know that you're not working right now. You want to come work?" Like,
Yeah,
they
that's
may have
true.
thought of it on their own, but again, soldiers want to get their dicks wet. So once the brothel shut down, they probably were like, "Hey, we still need to fuck."
I know we got to move on, but I just realized this isn't even taking into account the fact that some of those soldiers could be gay.
Exactly.
They could be spreading it from soldier to soldier, and
Yeah.
he didn't even consider that.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
Or what is the other? I don't know the term. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is that he is not blaming who is at least half at fault.
Yes.
Yeah, that he's saying that multiple women should be put to death. Granted, he doesn't say they should die now, but they should have been brutally murdered.
Yeah, in the fashion that the women were being murdered in, and he would have been okay with that.
Because they did their jobs.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
What an asshole. Okay. Carson asks if they should be killed, but Richard's like, it's no use now. The deed is done. And then,
You want me to do it now? No, fuckstick, I do not.
to be fair, I would have thought he did. He's killing everybody right now. He's being rude. He's just chopping heads off.
Richard
okay?
was convincing enough to where Kirsten was like, wait, are you
Are we doing that?
telling me to do this right now?
Yeah.
Is this the plan?
Yeah.
No, I'm just a little pissed off. Calm down.
He recalls the words of one of the temple team talking about the vexatious whore having the right to live her own life.
Wow.
I think it's interesting also that they call her the vexatious whore. Okay? Because vexatious means, like, annoying. In some way. There's a couple other synonym words that it could be, but...
causing or tending to cause annoyance, frustration or worry.
That's crazy. You pulled that right off the top of your dome.
I know. I'm incredibly smart.
So I could see worry.
It's almost as if I'm a dictionary.
I could see worry, seeing what we learn about her maybe in the later in this chapter. But calling her annoying or frustrating just because she has clients. Like, this is her business.
If she's
trying to run like a smart ass business lady, and you're calling her vexatious because of it. Fuck you.
What does that mean? What does that mean? If she's running a good, efficient business where everybody is safe going to her, so she is making the money.
Yeah.
And you go to her knowing that, and then she doesn't do what you want her to do? Is that why she's frustrating? Because she won't divulge that information that makes her both the best candidate and the most frustrating person to work with.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Because she's good at her job,
Yes.
and
That's
then
part
she
of
was
it, yeah.
turned into a magical creature, most likely against her will
Yes.
because of it.
Yes.
I believe in women empowerment.
Yeah.
All women are powerful.
That's right.
We'll break it down exactly, but that's pretty much
Sounds
exactly
like
what it works out.
This woman especially, and that's why she is now a Sliph.
Yes. You're skipping ahead a little bit. But
Spoiler.
we're
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. I got heated. Where's my beer?
So Richard tells Grissom to get some food and a patrol and take off ASAP with his message for Rybish. Curson is to cut the 6 soldiers out of camp and put them in separate camp, quarantined.
Okay.
Soldiers who have slept with the women will take care of the sick.
Okay.
A little punishment.
Wait, I mean already verified sick people?
No.
Because, like, I don't know. Like, if I had sex with a woman and then found out later that I could have spread a disease, but then found out I didn't actually get the disease, I'm not going to be like, hey, yeah, let me take care of the sick people because I didn't get it. Put me in with a...
How do you know you didn't get it?
You could come down with it in 2 weeks. Plus...
Yeah, that's true.
Plus...
That's why you got to quarantine.
Plus, if you are immune to it, aren't you the best
then
candidate
you're the person for doing
to
it. Yeah.
take care of people anyways? Plus, you're part of the problem. You got your dick wet, so you get to go be with the sick people.
Yeah. You took a risk, and now you've got to, I don't know, balance that somehow.
But here's the other thing. You
now
all
the
sleep,
risk takes
you all sleep in tents. You can not say that you fucked the vexatious, the whores if you want, but all your buddies are gonna see who fucked who. Like, they're gonna know who did
true.
it. And if you like, when it comes down to this shit, I ain't covering your ass. Fuck you.
Not Rosie.
So the prostitutes are also ordered to stay away under penalty of death. Sentries will be posted with archers and told to cut them down after one warning. I'm really hoping that the soldiers are also given the same warning if they leave the camp for any reason.
No, they said they had to stay in there so the soldiers can still leave.
That's what I'm saying.
They left that bit vague.
I'm just saying, like, quarantine ones probably can't, but I bet you the regular ass soldiers can go into town if they need to.
Well, that's when they can say later, like, it was implied.
Yeah.
We didn't have to say it, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
They were supposed to.
Yeah. If only he had thought of keeping these whores away before. Well, now they're going to go see Berdine so that Kara can relieve her, and Richard also wants to check in on her. And obviously, Kahlan is all about soaking up all that Richard time that she can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So she's
100%.
going to go. And we're going to take there's a little cutaway. Cut. See.
Cut.
And we're with Berdine. We're with Berdine.
Berdine. Bouncy Berdine.
And she's reading. The Sliph is immediately offering Richard to
pleasure travel.
pleasure travel. Yeah.
The pleasure trail.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to go. Pleasure travel. And he says no and asks Berdine if she has anything new. She immediately is like, she starts whispering. She goes over and she starts whispering. And asks if he remembers the exact thing that he remembered. It was literally a paragraph ago. Like, what? What is the point of the narration than telling us that he remembers. We literally just read it. I know he remembers.
True.
I know, Terry.
And just to clue you in a little bit before they do the full reveal, maybe?
I don't know, but it was almost word for word within like 2 chapters, or like not even 2 chapters, a few paragraphs in the book,
yeah,
where he was like, the exact quote from the dude, and then Berdine's like, hey, do you know that? Do you remember that exact quote? And then the narrator feels the need to be like, he does remember. No shit. No shit. Okay.
I want the narrator voice to work on you right now. Jade seems a little upset. I wonder how much of that beer is left. She gives me side eye and sets the beer down on
Not
the table.
Enough. Apparently, Kahlan had mentioned the vexatious whore in his writings. He had also written that Ricker's lady was watching him as he wrote this, and that they had lost Lothane. Ricker had his revenge. Hearing this, Richard turns to the Sliph and starts questioning her. And he asks about a long time ago, and she's like, I'm long enough to give you pleasure, baby.
Yes,
what you
I'm
want
long
to do?
enough.
Hey, now I do want to say though that this was one of the few times where Richard had the thought of, oh, I should have been doing this earlier, and I fully agreed. Yeah, Richard, you should have asked the Sliph questions earlier. I mean, I think he tried a little bit at one point, but he gave up way too quick.
He was like, this weird goo that's shaped like a lady who's going to suck me up and travel me across the land. There's nothing weird about that. We don't need to dive deeper into that.
Yeah, and also who has weird, like, vast ancient knowledge of landscapes and locations. Maybe there's more that this thing knows.
And she just talks in sexual innuendo. So really, all you have to do is just give it back to her. Be like, I know you're long enough. I am wet enough. Can we get something going here?
Now, Sliph, could you please back that up and tell me that piece of information again?
I'm feeling real twerky about what just happened. Like that?
It's been really hard to get to the get to the answer.
You mean difficult?
No, I mean hard. So he asks her about names, and she refuses to name clients. She keeps saying that. She says she wasn't a person like Richard. She was a whore like Kahlan. And Kahlan's like, I think he meant woman.
Excuse?
So this was...
Sliph was like, yeah, I mean woman too. So she like doubles down. She's like, yeah, you're a whore. I'm aware.
This was the first time I had wished that Nadine would have came along. Because just the idea of like just somehow she happened to be right there, and Richard's like, you mean like her, and points to Nadine, and this one goes, yeah, a whore. Yes.
It's not like Kahlan. Kahlan's a pure angel.
Yeah.
This one.
This
the
one
slut.
is what you want. Yes.
The whore.
Her clients had made her the Sliph. Some were the most powerful wizards in the keep, and others had sought to get her to name those wizards to displace them.
Ah, there it is.
But she doesn't reveal her clients.
Nope, she's true blue.
So this is where I think maybe she started being called the vexatious whore by the people who were trying to get those names from her.
Yeah.
Because she was because it was frustrating or worrying, or maybe even by the people that she wasn't naming even.
Yeah.
Because they're worried that she could name them if she ever turns. So she's the vexatious whore because she's not doing what we want her to do.
Right.
Yeah.
She's causing a problem.
She's a wild card.
She is that woman from the well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was...
Yes, girl.
Get it, girl? You get it so hard you don't even care. Oh my god.
That was fucking funny bone all day long.
I hope to God
It was really funny.
I hope to God that thunk got picked up.
It had to have. There's too much shit over there.
That was such a loud thunk. You okay?
That feeling. Yeah,
I don't know.
Ow. I
don't
talk with
know
my
if you
hands,
guys
and so
heard
I got
some
into that,
snapping.
and then I broke my elbow, apparently.
I don't know if you guys heard the snapping, but he was doing a sassy snap.
Whew. Okay, I'm alive. I'm sorry about that. I totally forgot what I was talking about, too.
Okay. So her clients feared that people would use her this way, so they made her the Sliph. Richard tells her that they're all dead now and asks her to tell him more.
Which, hey, I mean, that makes sense. Hey, everyone who did the bad things to you, they're all dead. So you're good, right?
Yeah, you can.
Now we can talk about it.
Nobody knows.
They aren't your clients anymore.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, like, they haven't paid you in, like, a really long time. So, she says that the one who made her told her that their magic would prevent Ricker. Nope. That her magic would prevent her from speaking their names while they were alive. So if they died, she should be able to now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I thought that's either one of two things. Either, okay, maybe it's actually true, but it could just be like them being, like using psychological warfare. Like, hey, our magic won't let you do it, so don't do it.
Yeah.
You can't. You literally can't, so don't.
Oh, yeah.
Or just like short-term thinking. Because why would you,
Yeah, why?
like, even after you die, do you want her to speak ill of your name? Like, immediately after you die, somebody could run up to her and be like, yo, who made you the Sliph? And then your legacy is destroyed. So that's short-term thinking.
Because they're still alive. So right now, when they're alive, they can get dirt on other people after they die, and that's where they're coming from. Probably without the full thought of, well, after I die, then they'll all know what I did with the Sliph too.
Well, that, and I'm sure that they are thinking, we're going to outlive this thing, even. Like, there's probably a chance that they'll be like,
yeah.
because of the problem, we'll just destroy it. You know, like, we're good.
She already doesn't
We're
really
wizards.
matter, so
Yeah, we're
let's just
wizards.
do the thing.
Yeah.
We can always make other cool magic shit, you know? Even though this is a super rare, weird thing nowadays, that back then they would be like, whatever. Yeah, we created space travel, basically. Tube travel. Nobody can fucking do that, but no big deal.
Just point one of them bad boys upwards. That's all we got to do.
Yeah, we'll just start a parroting tomorrow. It's fine. Just delete it.
Just like Tenacious D said was going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll all travel in tubes.
Tubes.
Yes, I agree with you, Jade. I think it's very short-term thinking. I
Yeah.
think that's all it was.
Yeah, if you're worried about your legacy and you're a politician, you don't want people to talk shit, you should make your NDA, like, longer than that.
Oh, yeah. Lifetime plus 5 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Richard asked if Lothane was one of her clients and mentioned Ricker thought he was a hypocrite. Sliph remembers Ricker coming to her saying Lothane was a vile beast who would turn on her and trying to get her to name him, but she refused because she was like, yeah, I hear ya. I hear what you're saying, but my bottom line is going to be affected if I start turning on my man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't do that.
She's like
Can't.
Batman. She has one rule.
Yeah. I got to protect.
Don't kill anonymity.
Nobody's going to want to fuck me if I'm wagging my mouth everywhere. So I gotta stop it.
And Batman doesn't break the one rule until he does.
Nope.
Kind of like
Nope.
the Sliph.
Nope.
Because she also does.
No, she could now.
Right.
Yeah.
She doesn't say names, but then until she says names, they just got to be dead.
But if she
She'll
said,
do it.
just,
The Slip's
just like,
fine.
hey,
She's corrupt, just like Batman.
She's
But
been
also,
through enough.
just like how Batman would prevent a lot of suffering if he just murdered the Joker. If the Sliph just named the names, she would have prevented a lot of suffring.
That's true. I thought you were going to use that as a metaphor to get me to stop talking just now, which I was prepared for.
No. Then Lothane did what Rickard said he would.
Right.
He told her that she didn't matter because no one's going to miss her. He hurt her. He raped her. Then he made her the Sliph, even though she swore to never reveal him.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Just weapons grade piece of shit.
Real egg sucker, you know?
Yeah.
A real egg sucker, yeah.
Ricker had come to her afterwards and cried at her well, swearing to end Lothane and all those like him and stop magic, the way that magic hurts people.
Now, see, this is where, we talked before about it wasn't their decision to make on the choice to ending magic. And although I still kind of stand by that, I do see why Ricker was at ends with the fact that magic was able to take the Sliph, this wonderful thing in his eyes, and then do horrible things to her and make her live with that for eternity. That's awful. That is literally constant torture for the rest of your life, even if you are in a pleasure tube.
See, here's the thing about Ricker. She wasn't even
I said it.
She wasn't even anything wonderful at that point. She was just a whore, which I'm not trying to downplay who she is, but
Yeah, she wasn't the Sliph yet. She
You
was.
Guys put it up on a pedestal all the time. She was not just some whore. She was the best whore.
Yes,
She
yes.
made you feel at
I'm
home.
just saying
You were protected.
that-
Your name was
True.
after.
that this is speaking to Ricker's character though, that he cared so much about the life of a whore
Yes.
being
Yeah.
turned into something like this that he was like, this is terrible. I knew that they were like, and this, but it's also confusing because they start calling her Ricker's vexatious whore, which makes it seem like Ricker did the thing to make her the Sliph, but he didn't.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, it'd be like it's like Ricker's friend, the whore.
Yeah,
They're
he was
giving him
defending
shit because he actually cared about
he was-
another human being.
yeah,
Yeah.
he died defending her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up.
So many parallels.
Guys,
moving on.
There's some fucked up shit in this book.
Yeah, there really is.
Series.
My mom, I gave her these books to read the series, and she
You
read,
monster.
I know. She has made it to about here. And then
Probably
read-
this chapter.
read no further. Yeah, it's just a lot for her. And she was like, "Nope, that's not. I don't want to read about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff." And I get it. I do.
She was
But,
listening
yeah.
to the podcast for a while, which I didn't know
Oh,
for quite
yeah.
a while that she was actually listening. And I was like,
I'm
oh,
so sorry, Mrs. Bruni, if you are still
I don't know
there.
if she's still listening. I hope, I would love it if she is, but part of me hopes she's not.
Most likely she's not. If she does, then that's cool. And
It
hey,
is
Mom,
cool.
thank you for listening. But we are going to continue saying the fuck word on here. So
Yeah.
just brace yourself.
And all the other bad words.
And
that
all
I
the
say.
other ones too. But I love you, and I encourage you listening.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay.
Why are you
so
telling us to move on so quickly?
We should move on. We should just.
They had taken sadness and joy from the Sliph and left her with duty only.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
In doing so, they made a mistake. They left some of who she was, so they could use her. That part,
course.
that part would submit to anyone who would pay the required price. Magic.
So
I'm
they
sorry, my
literally
mouth couldn't
left
get around those
only
words.
the one part that they ever really liked about her or found useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem with that is she considered herself a dutiful person.
Right.
So they didn't get rid of all the parts that made her her, and that's why now as the Sliph she still remembers all this shit.
Yeah.
Like they could have got rid of duty and made her completely brainwashed, and then none of this would have happened.
That's why I was like, why don't you just prevent her from maintaining a memory of any kind? Yes, it's brutal and heartless, but at the same time, if a thing doesn't know that it's in a prison necessarily, it can just do its thing, and that's just what it feels is natural, right?
It comes from a place of arrogance.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
Well, they also fucked themselves over because in doing so, she allowed anybody to pay the required price.
Right, exactly.
She is
Yeah.
not an exclusive person. She is a whore.
Yeah.
So as long as you are willing to pay it, you can take a ride.
Yeah, which
So-
is why she will let Richard and Kahlan travel, and also anyone working for Jagang
Yeah.
Right.
can go too.
Right.
Which is why they had to guard her all the time back then,
Mm-hmm.
even, which is why Colo was Colo.
It all ties together.
Yeah.
All makes
Yeah.
sense. Richard told her that he was sorry that we wizards had no right, and he was so sorry. And apparently this is the key. Rickard had said that if any master had said these words, to tell them these words. Ward left in, ward right out. Guard your heart from stone.
Got it. That makes total complete sense
Yeah.
to me.
Crystal clear, understand every word.
Yes.
Now,
So do we wait here, or we got to go find? Do we got to turn left?
I will just say, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, but just knowing what we know, Richard has to go into the Temple of the Winds through the betrayed walkway.
Yeah.
So I think
Hall of the Betrayer.
at the very least, the last part of that is just saying, guard your heart from stone, because you're going to be mad.
It's in reference to the temple.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know about the first part, but we can, just with the knowledge we have, infer that he just means, hey, shit's not going to be great, but
Yeah.
try not to get super bitter and close yourself off from
Just
everything.
don't worry about it. Just don't worry
just
about it.
try to let
Just
it, try
kinda
to
be
shake
cool
it
and
off.
just roll.
be a duck.
Have a margarita.
Try to be a duck.
Be a duck.
Yeah.
I don't know how that helps, but
Because you let the water roll right off your back.
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
We've received an email about the fact that we've also talked about duck penises, and so once that came up, I was like, "Why is a duck any better?" Because they are horrifying creatures.
Be a duck. You have a weird penis, and shit rolls off your back.
Stark and roll. Moving on.
So Ricker didn't explain the words to the Sliph. Richard turned to the others at this point, feeling pretty sick.
Yeah.
Berdine has to sleep, and Raina needs to be up early to relieve Kara, so everybody needs to go to bed.
Yep.
It is bedtime. We are done.
Taking over Sliph duty, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
She's going down there.
So we get another cut. Cut. Everyone has gone to bed. It is dark and quiet in the palace. Everyone is sleeping. It is relaxing. And then Richard was in a dead sleep when Berdine wakes him up in a panic. He barely recognized her with her hair down. He immediately knows something is wrong. She asks him to please come. Raina is sick. She sobs, and then I sob, and the chapter ends.
Oh, no. Not Raina.
Absolute heartbreaker.
Yeah, fucking Raina.
Well, okay, hold on. You're saying her name with some anger in your voice.
I'm angry that this is happening.
To Raina.
I'll say, you better not have any anger at Raina right now.
No, it's very sad.
Bless her heart.
Let's take a quick stock, real quick. We have Kara, we have Raina, we have Berdine, and we have
Kahlan.
No, just the Mord Sith. Was it Vika?
Yeah, we had Vika, but she's...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then, shit. See, that's the problem. We need another Mord Sith that we don't care about.
These three are
But
the
we
only
do.
ones left.
There's no good options at this
That's
point.
why earlier this chapter, when he had put, or maybe it was last chapter, when he put the 3 Mord Sith in those 3 positions, for a second I was like, do we really still only have 3 Mord Sith here in the city? But yeah, we do, because everybody, all the other ones died, and we haven't gotten a new shipment. So
that's the problem, really, though, is because when it was almost, well, you knew one of the main characters was going to get it, right? In a book about the plague, somebody close is going to get the plague, and then you're just like, oh, no, not you. Somebody else, anybody else. I like Berdine and I like Raina, and it's like, not them, but then who else are you going to pick in the main party? It's like, well,
Nadine.
No, not you. Well, yeah, Nadine. There you go. Nadine could totally get the plague. Not a problem.
not a problem.
Watch me not care.
So they don't follow the Family Guy Star Wars rules where they are about to do something dangerous and one of them just goes, we got 4 of the 5 main characters. I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah. But
They don't follow that rule in this one, huh?
No, I guess not.
no, they don't. I was going to say maybe for the most part you can kind of count on that, but I guess not always.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. But I guess that's the end of our chapter. So we need to say goodbye.
Well, thank you very much, Seeker, for listening today. If you wanted to let us know what you thought, you can write in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com or follow us on any of our social medias.
Go.
If you wanted to support this show, you can go to patreon.com/podcastatt and make a pledge of any amount. Or we would really, really appreciate it if you left us a 5-star rating and an honest review. That helps other people find this show. Thank you one more time for listening, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Hey, so when we were talking about ducks earlier, this is a geoduck.
Yeah.
Oh
gooey
my
duck.
God.
That's a gooey duck.
It's actually a clam, but it's
Yeah.
got the word duck in there,
It looks
and
like
it
a
looks
penis.
like a penis.
What
Yeah.
So
People eat them.
to wrap up the whole duck penis thing, look up geoduck. GEODUCK, one word.
Isn't that a Pokemon?
They are gooey ducks.
Close.
I'm pretty sure Geoduck is a thing.
You should see them when they're alive too, not just dead. Cause
yeah.
that thing,
Yeah.
the thing on the end,
Does
looks like
it
a
move?
penis. It moves.
Oh, gross. Okay, I'll have to look.
Look how happy that
that's-
guy is with it in his hand.
That's how I'm saying goodbye today.
Wow.
How
Wow.
happy he is.
Wow.
I'm done.